Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans. With more illegal drugs and more Democrat voters pouring into this country, we will put America first.
Regresa el expresidente Donald Trump al escenario mexicano y ayer, al hacer un elogio a la genialidad de Vladimir Putin, a la genialidad, así lo dijo, por haber enviado tropas a los territorios separatistas en Ucrania, sugirió que Estados Unidos podría enviar también a una fuerza de paz a México.
Que tranza mi pelo de lote, todavía anda de malcriado. Pensé que al dejar su puesto ya se le había pasado. Pues ¿por qué tanto coraje, mi viejillo amargado? A usted ni quien lo pica y solito ya está empinado. Güerillo desabrido, chichis de calcetín. Le da coraje que tenga más feria Carlos Slim. Pero en fin, anda de chapulín con el Putin. Le hace falta una madriza de esas de perro bailarín. Gasparín, con nosotros siempre quieres pelea, pero te tembló el yoyo contra los de Norcorea. Ya túmbese su rollo, mi jícama sin chile. Ya está bien viejillo y es hora de que se jubile. Ya sé que no nos quieres, mi querido menonita. Nosotros tampoco a ti, la situación es igualita. Ya te dicen el meco, querido camarada. Si no sales con una jalada, con una mamada. No estás en el poder, ya te la pelaste. Cuando pudiste, no aprovechaste. Uno solo no se escucha, pero juntos aturdimos a su madre Trump de parte de los latinos. No estás en el poder, ya te la pelaste. Cuando pudiste, no aprovechaste. Uno solo no se escucha, pero juntos aturdimos a su madre Trump de parte de los latinos. Allá andas haciendo borlote con nuestra frontera, acusando a mi gente de asesina y de ratera. Quizás sí, solo algunos, no hay que generalizar. La mayoría es buena raza que se va pa' chambear. Don Albino, ya túmbese su rollo de cretino. Le invito un aguachile, al cabo le encanta el pepino. Ya te dicen el queso, querido traga leche. Te hicieron ahí nomás pa' no tirar la leche. Perdón por los apodos, es que ando emocionado que el espagueti sin salsa nos haya mencionado. Aspirina, tú bien sabes que México es tu casa. Acá eres bienvenido, mi carita de mostaza. Aunque andes de mamila despreciando nuestra gente por no tener la piel como la tuya transparente. Uno solo no se escucha, pero juntos aturdimos. Que chingue a su madre Trump de parte de los latinos. No estás en el poder, ya te la pelaste. Cuando pudiste, no aprovechaste. Uno solo no se escucha, pero juntos aturdimos a su madre Trump de parte de los latinos. No estás en el poder, ya te la pelaste. Cuando pudiste, no aprovechaste. Uno solo no se escucha, pero juntos aturdimos a su madre Trump de parte de los latinos.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles does not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Without the people of America, Mexico, figuratively speaking, would be eating cat food out of a can and living in a tent behind
Anda viviendo tiempo extra y anda de mitotero, viejillo chismoso, fufurufo argüendero. ¿A usted qué le importa lo que pasa en el planeta si le queda como una semana de vida a la neta? México se despertó, se puso buzo, caperuzo. No es el México de antes que permitía tanto abuso. Ya no hacen con nosotros lo que les dé la gana. Ya no son los tiempos de Antonio López de Santa Ana, el güey que vendió tanto territorio mexicano, donde hoy vive tanto ilegal latinoamericano. Por culpa de un vendido el territorio se ha perdido. Por eso otro vende patrias aquí no es bienvenido. Una cosa es ser socio comercial a nivel mundial y otra muy diferente que nos quieran tratar mal. Aquí es bienvenido de cualquier país algún turista, porque México es la riata y no soy nacionalista. Tan solo digo lo que es. Ya es muy tu pedo si la neta no lo ves. Dirían aquí en México botellita de Jerez. Todo lo que nos desean que se regrese al revés. Hablo por los mexicanos al decir que no rajamos, que sacamos la casta donde quiera que vamos, que si hay puros frijoles pues frijolitos tragamos, y si no tienes sillas en el piso nos sentamos.
Mexicana es mi bandera. Mexicano hasta que me muera. Mis colores y mi tierra. Mexicano al grito de guerra.
Arriba el tricolor, mi país es un amor. Disfruta su sabor, de su tierra el olor, de su gente el calor, de su sangre el dolor, por su patria el furor. México es un amor. Que viva la raza de bronce y que viva toda mi gente mexicana. Acuérdense que un mexicano va a nacer donde se le pegue la gana. Deben de estar orgullosos de haber nacido aquí en la tierra del maíz, y que chingue a su madre al que no quiera este país. México va para arriba, ya se dio cuenta el mundo. Vamos a ser primeros, ya no seremos segundos. Quieren invadir México, qué mal me huele. El litio es mexicano, carnal, y es lo que les duele. Acuérdense de mí, por favor, guarden la canción. En unos años México será una gran nación. Acuérdense de mí, por favor, guarden la canción. En unos años México será una gran nación.
Mexicana es mi bandera. Mexicano hasta que me muera. Mis colores y mi tierra. Mexicano al grito de guerra.
Que viva mi raza de bronce y que viva toda mi gente mexicana. Acuérdense que un mexicano va a nacer donde se le pegue la gana. Deben de estar orgullosos de haber nacido aquí, en la tierra del maíz, y que chingue a su madre al que no quiera este país. Y yo soy Siek. Yo soy Siek. Yo soy Siek. Yo soy Siek.
El autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Hey, man. Okay. There we go. Let's stop sharing. Sharing is caring. All right, family. Hope you guys are well today. There's only a couple. It's all good, man. It's late. I haven't done a live like this late in a while. I've been playing and kind of listening in, but not actual live. So welcome. Oh, okay. That's all good. Let's see. Look, man, this is the topic. I mean, it's gonna just I want to share this with you guys. I think it's rather important. I think it's significant. They say significante. Anyway. Bro, close, man. What the hell? Listen, but the one we need this. Let me see. Here we go. Project. Give me a sec. There it goes right there. Let me download this real quick. I think it's important that we take a look at this here. I know that there are some people out there that it's like they want to speed time and wishing that this Nazi MAGA is good to rush and start to destroy, I guess, so called our gente, right? But that's pretty dangerous stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily wish on that because I understand what these MAGA Nazis, what I'm gonna call them from now on, what they're up to. You know what I'm saying? So let's start off with this right here. Start off with this right here, and then you tell me what y'all think about this here real quick, all right? You tell me what you guys think about this. Here we go.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans. With racist, do you hate Mexicans? Do you hate Mexicans? Do you hate Mexicans?
I find it very interesting that this fat piece of MAGA Nazi, because that's what I'm going to call them, it's like
Do you hate Mexicans?
Listen, sorry, I was on mute. Listen, this is where we draw the line. This is what I call a mega evangelical Nazi. Mega evangelical Nazism. Because quite frankly, this is what it is. I mean, first of all, man, it's not just so-called Mexicans that are so-called jumping the border, which is not even there. But anyhow, they're not even coming in. As a matter of fact, more are leaving, and we are planning. But hey, make it plain, Nazi evangelical megas. Because the next channel, this is what I'm gonna call you. Y'all are mega Nazis, bro. Straight up, man. I mean, we already dealt with wobbleism. You know what I'm saying? And what I like to say is yeah, exactly. Who are you? The first reset happened when we didn't know that there was other conquistadors with these mofos, right? Remember? That's the question. Bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
That's exactly what we're going to determine today, because I'm also going to show you what a little history of who the hell MAGA is. MAGA. Let's listen to it again.
Hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans. With more illegal drugs and more Democratic voters pouring into this country, we will put America first.
Okay, so there you have it. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Here, let me see something real quick. Hold on a second, family. Yep. That sounds good. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Let me know if that's anybody. Okay. So, güey, pues salen bien, güey. Shalom. Buenas noches a todos. Hey, man, y'all don't have to be here. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm doing this class with the brethren that actually listen in. It's always a few here that all is needed. Remember, quality over quantity, man. Shalom, my bros. Boom. Vámonos, way. I got some stuff to show you, man. Some really stuff. I wanted to get into some scripture, to be honest, and kind of debunk some stuff and talk about a particular topic. But I think this is more important right now because it's significant. Our gente has no clue. No idea what this actually means. No idea what what they're planning on doing. So again, I'm not planning on bringing a lot of scriptures out here right this very moment. My first part of the piece of whatever I'm doing right now tonight is going to be about this. Okay, so let's look at the evangelical Christmas Christians, mega Nazis, because that's exactly what they are. Okay, and this whole concept of God and supposedly they love God and then they love the Bible and that's what they're justifying because the Bible is king and Jesus. And you know what I'm saying? So then let's find out then how serious they are. This is who they are. Let's go.
The first Christian churches were mostly small, quiet gatherings of ethnically and culturally diverse believers committed to loving their God and their neighbors, even when those same neighbors might persecute them for their beliefs. But they were a bunch of dumb idiots. That was 2,000 years ago, and it's time for American megachurches to put the sex back in religious sectionalism. My name is Brother Roger Horton, and I'm an elder at the Holy Non-Denominational Happy Jesus House, a 100-foot-tall metal idol to capitalism and, I guess, Jesus. Our doors are open to everybody, as long as there's not an ongoing national emergency. Speaking of, this ain't your grandma's church, largely because we refuse to mask up during pandemics, so your grandma will literally die here. And speaking of old boring crap I wish would die, unlike other churches, we promise to never adhere to things like long-standing traditions or centuries of theological vetting. We'll just sort of do whatever sounds probably Christian.
Today's reading is from 2nd Amendment.
Our entirely untrained leader, overseeing the personal lives of thousands, is either 35 years old or doing his best to look like he's 35 years old, with fly-ass shoes so expensive them could house and feed a family for a year. And I know what you're thinking, but we're doing everything we can to ensure his patterns of abuse and assholery won't come to light for at least a decade. If we're lucky, he'll be dead long before anybody learns about those massages with blessed endings.
All God wants is for me, personally, to be happy. And besides, I'm technically married, straight, and a man, which fulfills literally all of the requirements for this position. I mean, can you imagine if I was gay?
Before and after a little talk, you'll immediately forget the point of, you're gonna love our rock band. Oh, sorry, praise team. By failed musicians. All of music is inspired by love, God, and U2's Joshua Tree. And don't worry about not knowing the words. They're only about 11 per song, and we'll sing them over and over and over again until they feel profound.
Jesus, your love is like water, love is like water, love is like water, and maybe a tree.
And if by some divine miracle you still can't figure out the lyrics, we'll display them at all times on billion-megawatt projector screens, overlaid with the image of a torture device ancient Romans used to kill criminals. And now, here's some stock footage of racially diverse singing and clapping, because we want you to believe that our church might have an Asian guy in it somewhere. Which means, if you visit, you're basically a missionary. And all we ask in return is 10% of any money you make minimum before taxes, so we can purchase personal jets and contribute to political campaigns that promise to keep us from ever shouldering any tax burden whatsoever. Even if you don't give us any money, we're still pretty much getting it. Truly, everything we do is inspired by the intentionally homeless, apolitical friend of prostitutes who told the religious leaders of his day to pay their taxes. That can't be right.
By the power of God's kid and planting people in the audience, I declare you healed.
Wow, I'm healed from my non-specific illness.
So come on down today and say you love Jesus or something, and we'll proclaim you saved from, I don't know, not having enough money. To be honest, the super old book we claim guides the entirety of our lives is really long, and who has time to read when we're so busy writing our own books about how God wants us to touch tongues? All new visitors receive a custom tote bag full of branded goodies and a DVD of a movie we made for $17 about liberals hunting Christians for sport. Remember, we're not perfect people, but we sure as hell expect you to be. I've been Brother Roger. Bless you. Jesus Christ, will you shut the hell up? I'm making a commercial here, for God.
Hey, if it isn't any funnier than that, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. I thought it was pretty funny, man. To be honest with you guys, man. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, I thought it was. But look, listen. The reason I brought that up is because if you really consider, those things are true. They are very true. He said a lot in that video, but if you think of it, repetitive music, make you feel good, has no meaning, but they will maneuver the doctrine based on what your liking is. They'll put young people, and we even see that in some BHI camps. Well, look, they're breaking up now, but I mean, we saw it. So check this out. Let me give you an idea of what that means. I thought it was interesting, man, that because that individual, in case you don't know, he is the so-called vice president J.D. Vance of Orange Orangutan, MAGA Nazi leader of the crew. Okay, and basically, man, y'all can listen to this. Look, check this out. Oh, I didn't do that. Okay, check this out. Here we go.
In his own words,
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. As somebody who doesn't like Trump, I might have to hold my nose and vote for Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote for Trump because I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious, him being really outrageous and offensive.
On Twitter, Vance called Trump, quote, reprehensible, an idiot, and Vance loves Mitt Romney.
I'm a never Trump guy.
That's the real J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance.
This real J.D. Vance person here really struck a chord with a few people. Now, I've been learning and paying attention to the way these people speak. And I'm going to show you how blunt they are about their plan. And again, obviously we believe here, the people that listen to this channel, we believe in the scriptures. So there's certain things that are written in our book. However, I hate hypocrisy. So that's what I'm pointing out. Here's another idea of what this Project 25 MAGA Nazi movement is planning on doing. Okay. So, mind you, this dude here married so I guess he must be from India or somewhere Asia, somewhere over there. You know what I'm saying? And listen to the comments that he makes with regards to marriages or divorce, or what should they do? All right, so listen in.
This is one of the great tricks that I think the sexual revolution pulled on the American populace, which is this idea that these marriages were fundamentally, they were maybe even violent, but certainly they were unhappy. And so getting rid of them and making it easier for people to shift spouses like they change their underwear, that's going to make people happier in the long term. And maybe it worked out for the moms and dads, though I'm skeptical, but it really didn't work out for the kids of those marriages. And I think that's what all of us, and this is one of the great
So again, the point here is they are basically saying you're better off in a relationship where you're getting your ass whooped for the sake of the children. But we all know now, psychologically speaking, you are teaching those children how to be abusers as well, or getting abused. You create a cycle. This sounds to me more like a evangelical MAGA Nazi Christian Christmas believer who puts blame instead of taking and being, listen, it's about time that y'all need to change. For a long time, you have the Bible, and like we say in Psalm 64, I believe 49, what are you to do to declare my statutes, seeing that you don't give a damn about them, Now, this does the same person here that has a particular dislike from a certain individual, and I'm gonna jump back and forth here. This guy right here.
I was there.
this this guy right here, this Nicky Tricky mega Nazi side point here, I'm gonna call him Nicky Tricky Fuentes. All right, so let's listen into this this beast right here.
I was there at Lansing. I was there at Harrisburg. I was there at Phoenix. I was there at Million MAGA. I was there at all of them with my own money. I was there at January 6th. I was there. I was there at Lansing. I was there at Harrisburg. I was there at Phoenix. I was there at Million MAGA. I was there at all of them with my own money. I was there at January 6th. I was there.
Well, he's pretty upset that he was there. Pretty upset that he was there, right? Pretty upset. I was there. Okay. So now this vice president that I showed you just now, that he said, "Do you hate Mexicans? Do you hate Mexicans?" He said, "Are you a racist?" I don't know if you guys caught the first particular part of this video, but yeah, that's what basically he said. Do you hate Mexicans and are you a racist? Damn. All right, check this out. This is Nicky Tricky Fuentes again.
Jews that just want to get him in so he could bulldoze the West Bank for Netanyahu and keep that fucking rat in power.
Yeah, throw the Jews in there, Nick. Hell, just throw them in. Why not? Goddamn. Just throw them in there, baby. You didn't say Jew the whole time.
For the, by the way, it's funny because this was suggested to me, like, hey, check this out. You may like this. And for the first time, I've heard somebody on the left, I guess you could say, that is blunt with their message and doesn't sugarcoat it, regardless of what his sides. Look, in this demon pedo environment, we're not obligated to choose. And scripturally speaking, it says, give unto Caesar what's to Caesar, give unto the scriptures, give unto God the Spirit. So you do as far as pay your taxes if that's when needed. That's it. We don't get involved with this stuff. So you have to understand both sides do have each demons, but pay attention to both messages because both sides are going to give you strong, important messages. For those that don't understand also what the Bible speaks of in regards to prophecy, that means that past, present, future, it's a book that gives us messages to be mindful of what is to come. That's why Revelation 1:3 says, blessed is they that readeth. Matter of fact, let me get it so you guys can see. I'm not lying. Here we go. Hold on a second here. Let me quick. Boom, boom, boom. Show you. This is why you past, present, future. Blessed is Revelation 3:1. Blessed is he that readeth. Sorry, hold on. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. Though keep those things which are written thereof, for the time is at hand. So now remember, you cannot say, "Oh, well, that's here and that's there." No. That remember the whole volume of the book. Lo, I come in the whole volume of the book. It's written to me. So you can't be impartial about one thing and then, not the other. Oh, for example, well, you know what I'm saying? How do you know what is prophetic then? What makes you decide? What gave you the right to tell people this is prophecy and this is not? Even though the book basically is a book of prophecy. But let's continue. Check this out. Let me see where it goes right here. Is it here? Here it goes right here. Check this out.
At all. Let's listen to how Nick responded. Let's listen to how Nick responded.
Here's the interesting one. Okay, so the other one was a little short, didn't actually mention it. So this guy here, apparently he got kicked out of his little circle. But I'm showing you what they're talking about. Pay attention to what they're saying. Let's go.
After Donald Trump was shot at on Saturday. Wants to be Project 2025 to be out front. He wants Kevin Roberts to be the Goebbels of the administration. He wants to round up immigrants. He wants to cleanse the list, as Ivan said, right? They want to do that. Listen to how Nick responded after Donald Trump was shot at on Saturday.
I hope and I pray.
Oh, God.
That he's a changed man after today. And I hope he's...
I mean, they probably had to change his diaper. They probably had to change his diaper, Nick. But I don't know about a changed man. But yeah, go ahead.
Sees that the people around him truly don't give a fuck if he died. And I hope he knows that. And I hope he can see that. And I hope that's a wake-up call. That if he died today, Chris LaCivita, who was calling for the 25th Amendment, and his only message today was, get out there and vote, wouldn't give a fuck if Trump died today. They get right behind the next GOP person that they could sell endorsements or personnel, and fuck them. So I hope Trump knows that. I hope Trump knows there are people that would take a bullet for him. They were at greatagain.org.
Oh, damn. It almost feels like, doesn't it feel like
Project 2025? And it's
people won't take bullets for you if you know what I mean. Those are nice kneecaps. It would be a shame if something happened to him. I don't know. Is that what he's saying?
I hope Trump knows there are people that would take a bullet for him, and they're in Project 2025. And it's the Groypers. And it was the people that were at January 6th and Stop the Steal, not the people that sat fucking home and talked. And I was there. I was there at Lansing. I was there at Harrisburg. I was there at Phoenix. I was there at MAGA. I was there at all of them. With my own money, I was there at January 6th. I got subpoenaed. I got put on no-fly list. I was a part of that. I derailed my entire life. I lost everything.
Boo fucking who?
I was making $50,000 a month. I lost everything. All my money was confiscated.
I wonder why Nick does what he does. It's kind of shining through, ain't it?
Alternative I got banned from every major platform.
Oh,
I got banned on every alternative platform.
Oh,
I got fucked over and screwed over by everybody.
Maybe.
So again, this is the funny part, because I guess they're fighting amongst themselves, and it seems like they're exposing themselves in this little matter here, and it's funny to me because
the platform I still had
here goes right here. Here's the part where he talks about the vice president elect. I think this is it, okay? And he trashes him and says that fat JD something. All right, Vance, that's his name. The MAGA Nazi, the recently vice president of Donald Trump's team, MAGA Nazi group. All right, let's go.
Life was destroyed. I still got rich. I still maintained a platform. I still had a seat at the table, and I lost it all supporting Trump. And I still supported Trump after that. I never repudiated January 6th, and I never repudiated Trump.
Sounds like he's a little sour.
They want to score some cheap points and say, well, you criticize Trump for disavowing Project 2025. Disavowing Project 2025 has everything to do with what took place today. It has everything.
Whoa! Say what? Whoa. Okay.
When I heard that, it caught my attention, because do I believe that thing was real? Hell no, man. I believe that was a setup. That's my opinion. Based on what I'm looking at, I'm not special ops or anything, but I think we all played some video games, strategic video games, you know what I'm saying? Where if you're supposed to protect, the king or queen or the castle, you are pretty much going to be strategic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not just going to let your main character get killed. I don't think so. It just seemed too obvious. 150, 30 yards with some rifle that isn't necessarily for that distance, I don't believe. And then it's just too much. And then you stick your head out like, hey, fight. And then he wants his shoes on again, and he shows his head again. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, nah, man. Like,
these people are the same ones that deny actual incidents of school shootings. That, from what I see, I mean, shoot, I don't know if you can make that up, man. You're killing like 10, 15, I believe, families at one time. They're denying that stuff. And it's like, bro, when you look at this particular stage, and I know now that, you know, this is a stage, this is a stage, this is a stage. Let's continue.
Points and say, well, you know, you criticize Trump for disavowing Project 2025. Disavowing Project 2025 has everything to do with what took place today. It has every.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Ivan today.
Well, that's almost like as if. Well, he did disavow, saying, "No, I don't know nothing about that stuff." They didn't like it, and there was this Republican person, kid, whatever, that supposedly committed this. Now, I'm showing you a window of this situation, because this is kind of like scattering the roaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you scatter that, and they're out running and shit. Don't know where to go. Let's continue.
Now, this is on Saturday. This is right after Donald Trump was shot at a rally. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Disavowing Project 2025 has everything to do with what took place today. It has everything to do with it. Because the people in Project 2025 wouldn't have let him get killed today. They wouldn't have let the Secret Service allow that to happen. Because the people at Project 2025, and this isn't like an advertisement for them, but I'm using them as an example.
They're not paying you anything. I mean,
that's a trip, man. Now, let me show you this interesting little important document I have here for you. Thank you, brother, for sharing that. Thank you very much, man. And that's what I'm talking about, family. We have a personal group that we brothers have communicated in case anybody chooses to. You guys are more than welcome to reach out. Anyhow, in this particular group, you know, we find information, we share it. So one of the brothers shared this to us, and I appreciate you again. So check this out. How is MAGA witchcraft? How is MAGA witchcraft? Let's watch.
Welcome to Order Militarist Radio TV, and we are.
That might take too long. I don't want to watch that. Plus, I don't know what that's about, if it even is related to this. So, but I did check this out. Check out this meaning, man. It blew my mind. It really did. And I started doing some digging, and I want to bring it to your attention because this is important. So it says, if I've known that MAGA is the title or position of the highest ranking priest in the Church of Satan. Woof. Now, hold on a second. Let me move it over here this way. So as you can see, I've known that MAGA is a title or position of the highest ranking priest in the Church of Satan. People called me shill and troll. So, you know, like, anyways, this is from Jerry Rivard, MAGA title position of the highest ranking Church of Satan. So let's click on that. Here we see, where do we get Yahusha? From the name of the son of Yahusha, I guess. Will send powerful delusions, the truth. The prophecy of America. Interesting, you know, finding, right? But let's stick to this particular point. Let me go back here. What is the point, I say to you? It says here, MAGA. So MAGA has a history. MAGA in Latin means magic. Now, we all know what that means. In case some of you are new to this channel, and I think maybe a few people have been subscribing recently, and all praise, man. You know, praise to our glory to our Creator. He's the one that brings about these particular things. So anyhow, I have kind of like a picture of a Sephiroth. And in case you guys don't know, Sephiroth is the Ein Sof of the ancient Kabbalah teachings of the Khazars and Sephardic fake Jews. You know, this is technically a belief that they have that there is 10 worlds, 10 crowns, 7 levels, you know, all of that concept. More kind of like Hinduism, but it's, again, they're taking a variety of beliefs masked up into one. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second. But the names here changed a bit. And I'm going to show you one particular thing that kind of struck me a lot. So again, MAGA in Latin is magic, magical, witch. MAGA in Italian is sorceress or witch. MAGA in Spanish is magician or wizard or illusionist. Shit. MAGA in Polish and magician. MAGA in Sanskrit, magician or priest of the sun. Priest of the sun. Okay. So let me show you something interesting. First of all, let's kind of take a step back here real quick. And I think it's was it this one? Hold on a second. Maybe I did it backwards. Yeah, here. It says here, Deuteronomy 18:10, we've been warned, there shall none be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divinations, or an observer of time, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer. Magic, enchanter, witch, magic, charmer, or consulter with familiar spirits, or wizard. It just said it earlier. Or necromancer, I'm sorry. So here we see that MAGA also means what? Magical, witch, sorcery. There's sorcery of this sort. I'm telling you, because people are like, whoa, what is wrong with you guys? Why do you not? They're blind. It's sorcery. Now, in English, the word magi is an archaic word for magician or sorcerer, coming from the Latin word magus, maga, Greek word for magos. Etymology, as we see, magic, magician, enchanter. So we also read here, and it says here, or an enchanter or a witch. We're constantly being reminded, but you know, hey, listen, who cares, right? Who cares? Live your life, man. Y'all Christians, live your life. You think that it's, you know, evangelicals, most evangelicals don't even realize, I'll bet you anything, they have no clue. So now it's talking about magic. And check this out. Here we see a concept of magic, and it's called money magic, Babylonia. So this here is what I'm talking about, the Sephiroth. Baal worship, human sacrifice. This is a whole teachings under the Kabbalah and its history behind it. I've done several classes on this topic here in order for you guys to have some resources to look through further. On another day, I'll go through this a little more in detail, but it's almost as if it's a process. It came from back then. So for Yada, they don't understand, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't understand. You think Babylon is in the past. It's just, you know, whatever. So as you keep going further down in the timeline, you understand now what the creme de la creme of what you become. It went from this, right, to this, to its greatest stare in life, the Masonic Atlantis. This is why people who go around saying this is the old world, because y'all don't understand. This from a book, Atlantis, written from Francis Bacon, possibly Shakespeare. Some people even consider him being Saint Germain, the one and only Grand Master of Freemasonry. Now, this here, what I showed y'all regarding MAGA, this right here is the interesting part. The high-ranking priest. I'm going to show you this. Okay. And I believe the brother sent me this information. Let me get this to you. High-ranking priest. Hold on. Where's the link? Where is the link? We're gonna get to that. Don't trip. I have a link. Let's see what I'm talking about here. Yes, sir. Okay. No, it went back. A brother sent me this, and I gotta share this with y'all. This is very interesting. Oh, I forgot to show you that one for sure, but let me go back. Let me go back. Maybe I can look for it on the other link. Oh, no, it's coming up here. It's still up here. Because I even have pictures that I was going to show you. Maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Okay, let me go. Here, I'm going to show you this one first. How about that? How about I do that? Let me show you this one first. Let's see. Let me see something. It ain't going to be a long night, fam. Brothers, whoever's watching. It ain't going to be a long night. Because I thought I'd share this out. This is not really like one of those main classes that I focus on. I am going to work on one. I already have it ready for tomorrow. Give me a second. If I can't find it, I'll move on from it. Let's see if it goes like this. A brother had sent me one that says that every priest has to go through school of Satan. And I flipped out on that one, man. The brother sent that over. Now, I don't know which link he sent it through, to be honest, and I'm kind of looking through it right now. I think it's this one. Let's see. Hold on. Don't tell me they took it away. Damn, I think they took it off. Oh, no, here it goes right here. Okay, here it goes right here. Yes, yep, that's it. Thank you, brother. All right, so now, appreciate your patience. This is interesting right here. Look at this. So we're looking at, again, high priest ranking the Church of Satan. Okay? This is no joke, man. This is no joke. Again, I'm doing a late class. I won't be long, but, I figure you guys can take advantage of this. Check this out.
I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason. That was my official shrine portrait, which they took as part of my initiation. I was ready to become involved in hardcore Satanism. What did that mean? Well, that meant I had to sell my soul to the devil. I had to sign my name on the contract in blood. I had to sign my name in the black book. You gotta understand something. The satanic doctrine here is that hell is not what we believe it is, or what the Bible teaches it is. The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. It's like a nonstop, all-eternity orgy. So you're smoking dope, you're fornicating your brains out, you're listening to rock and roll through all eternity. And it's party hardy time. But before I could get onto the priesthood of Satanism, excuse me, I had to get 7 people to sell our souls to the devil. The other thing I had to do, and this might astonish some of you, is I had to become a Catholic priest. I had to go back to my original vocation. Because you cannot be a satanic priest unless, first of all, you're a Catholic priest. And if that's surprising...
I hope you guys caught that. I hope you got that. Let's hear it again.
I had to go back to my original vocation. Because you cannot be a satanic priest unless, first of all, you're a Catholic priest. And if that surprises you, I just suggest that you go and you read some of the medieval literature. You'll see that that is in fact the case. I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason. That was my official shrine portrait, which they took as part of my initiation. I was ready to become involved in hardcore Satanism. What did that mean? Well, that meant I had to sell my soul to the devil. I had to sign my name on the contract in blood. I had to sign my name in the black book. You gotta understand something. The satanic doctrine here is that hell is not what we believe it is, or what the Bible teaches it is. The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. It's like a nonstop, all-eternity orgy. So you're smoking dope, you're fornicating your brains out, you're listening to rock and roll through all eternity. And it's party hardy time. And before I could get onto the priesthood of Satanism, excuse me, I had to get 7 people to sell our souls to the devil. The other thing I had to do, and this might astonish some of you, is I had to become a Catholic priest. I had to go back to my original vocation, because you cannot be a satanic priest unless, first of all, you're a Catholic priest. And if that surprises you, I just suggest that you go and you read some of the medieval literature. You'll see that that is in fact the case.
Again, we read here, I've known that MAGA is the title or position of the highest ranking priest in the Church of Satan. People called me shills and trolls. And we see what the MAGA means. And we know to stay away from this. But if you guys are wondering why this movement is so strong, or it's like, is it fantasy? Is it real? Like when they went up there and attempted to go into that building? Look, these guys here, the way that they're speaking, has to make you wonder. They're trying to say that the best. Listen to what he says, the word that he uses, right here. And this guy caught it, made me look it up, and I'm going to share with y'all what it is. All right, let's go.
It's cleansing and the fastest cleansing that we've ever seen in my lifetime. The best cleansing and the fastest cleansing that we've ever seen in my lifetime.
The fastest cleansing. I wonder what that means. I wonder what book that's from. Could it be a book called My Struggle?
So he said, could it be a book called My Struggle? Right? You know what I'm saying? Could it be? So I was like, My Struggle. And I go, wait a minute. I remember. Okay, could it mean this? Could it mean this? You know, like Mein Kampf, right? Mein Kampf. Mein Kampf. So when I say and when he says, yes, these dudes are mega Nazis right here. Because that's what he said. That's what his mama said. Mega Nazis. Mega Nazis. In Mein Kampf, let's get to the point. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Hold on a second, dude. What is Mein Kampf and what does it mean? Adolf Hitler, Mein Kampf was part autobiography and part political treatise. Mein Kampf, which means my struggle. That's what he was talking about. So this guy here,
the best.
He's talking about the best cleansing ever. Let's go.
Cleansing and the fastest cleansing that we've ever seen in my lifetime.
The fastest cleansing. I wonder what that means. I wonder what book that's from. Could it be a book called My Struggle? Huh? Nick Fuentes about pride.
So
let's listen to the party.
Jews that
he's talking about life.
The SS with almost certainty, with the highest level of confidence that if they assassinate Trump, it is so game over for them, and it's going to be so fast.
InfoWars.
The best cleansing and the fastest cleansing that we've ever seen in my lifetime.
The fastest cleansing. I wonder what that means. I wonder what book that's from.
Option 2, behind Trump.
This right here, what he says, pay attention. He says, option 2, behind Trump. He picked that other person. Look, I'm no prophet. Sometimes I have dreams and I have seen things in my dreams happen before. I dreamt of my children. I ain't gonna lie. My wife is a testament to it. I saw their faces. Right? It's a trip, man. But are they planning, if Trump wins, are they planning, because if he somehow passed away, let's say by natural causes or by accident, that J.D. Vance is the second choice. And he believes in Project 25 100%. Let's go.
Option 2, behind Trump. is going to be so much better for us and so much worse.
Well, I was about
for
to
them.
say, if they kill him, that's best case scenario from a sick level. From a sick level beating him, oh, please kill him, which but it's so good after that.
Oh, it's so good.
You see what I'm saying? What are they willing to do for the sake of power? For the sake of power, what are they willing to do? Because a lot of these people agree with them. A lot of these people agree with them. Check this out.
And we have once again nominated for president the founding father of the America First movement, Donald John Trump.
I came here to speak on behalf of Donald Trump. I've never met the man, but I can tell that he has nothing but the best interest of this country at heart.
Some of the things that he's saying are issues that we've been tackling for years now. We talk about globalism, we talk about America First.
That's what we're building towards, and Donald Trump is just introducing these ideas to a lot of new people.
You know what? Yeah, make America great again, build a wall, kick these people out. This is my country. This all belongs to me.
Yeah, Beaners. Get out of here, you damn Beaners. We don't want you here. That's what they're saying, basically. In a nutshell. In a nutshell. I mean, I don't know how other way you could pretty much, determine that, because technically, in a nutshell, that's what you're saying. Look, check this out.
Liberal content creator, influencer, and Hollywood star that incited violence for this exact thing to happen. It's not only about Donald Trump. Anybody could have gotten hurt, and y'all are against all that stuff, and this is what you incited.
Yeah.
Democrats, after this assassination attempt on Trump, don't you say a fucking word about my president again, or you're gonna get an earful next time I see you.
Oh, and also, I never want to hear a word about January 6th ever again.
So we ain't gonna mince words in this video. You Democrats have blood on your hands now. You have blood on your hands. You are the politically violent people.
There you have it. It's our fault.
She is a crazed lunatic. What the hell was going on with her husband? Let's not ask. Let's not ask. I'll withdraw that statement.
But enough about that. Focus on the left-wing lunatic Democrat that perpetrated this. Oh, he was a Republican. He was a Republican Nick Fuentes 2A supporter. That's tough. This is gonna hurt the narrative, that's for sure.
And why would they be saying?
So the kid that apparently shot this dude here.
Princess feeds.
I don't need to see that one. The kid that apparently shot this dude here, he happened to be this dude's Nick Fuentes follower. The hater of JD Vance and the obviously massive supporter of this project 2025. And let me have this young lady here explain some of it for y'all, because
have you tried?
Obviously, she is apparently a student at
Wix
Yale,
or Squarespace, but never finished.
and I think she has a pretty good point. To the point, I'm going to speed it up just a slight bit, but listening, and I need you guys to pay attention to one of the laws that Project 2025 wants to get rid of is corn. It has something to do with corn. What the hell? Yeah, corn. And I'm like, corn? Like, what do you mean corn? Yeah. Listen to this. This is interesting.
To talk about it. Project 2025. What is it? Who wrote it? Where did it come from? The entire far-right blueprint is 920 pages and 30 chapters. You're not going to read all that. I don't expect you to. And if you haven't even heard of Project 2025, that's okay too. But you do need to know what's in it because it's pretty terrifying. Think a playbook for Handmaid's Tale, essentially turning the US into Gilead. I've looked for some good, easy explanations of Project 2025, and there really aren't that many. This is going to be the most comprehensive and simple explanation of 2025 that you're going to get. So background, Project 2025 dates back to 1973. That's when the Heritage Foundation, a very powerful conservative think tank based in Washington, D.C., was founded. They are the writers and the architects of Project 2025. And their main mission and goal is to move America to a more far-right Christian nationalist state. It originally came to prominence when they wrote their first manifesto in 1981 titled A Mandate for Leadership. And get this, those very same policies were the ones that were used and implemented in the Reagan administration. Seriously, around 60% of the 2,000 proposals written in the manifesto were implemented by Reagan. So now they're back again with a new edition, and this new edition is known as Project 2025. And it's supposed to provide guidance for the Don or whoever becomes the next Republican president. And these 900 pages and 30 chapters are written by professors, doctors, scientists, lawyers, scholars on each subject. And they've divided Project 2025 into 4 main pillars. The first is policy, which is this big book. The second is personnel. They're creating this huge conservative database, think LinkedIn, but for DJT loyalists. The third pillar is training. They set up this online educational system called the Presidential Administration Academy, where they teach their views and ideology in a course. And the fourth is called Playbook, which is an action game designed for how they're going to get everything done. Now let's get into some of the very concerning things on their wish list for DJT's second term. Starting off strong on pages 450 to 503, they're calling for a complete ban on abortions. Not very shocking. Page 319, they're saying the Department of Education should be eliminated. And in addition to calling for its
So I do want to say this, that I don't think they really care for the children's behalf. I think it's more because they understand that they're not reproducing and they have this replacement theory in their mind. However, it is biblical. And you're not necessarily being replaced. You're just paying your dues for what you've done. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. I don't wish wicked stuff upon people, man, but you know, scriptures are scriptures. Let's go.
elimination. They state that any school that requires a vaccine or mask mandate will not receive federal funding. Page 482, eliminate the Head Start program. Page 675, calling for the elimination of NOAA and the National Weather Service. Because these organizations, and I quote, have become one of the main drivers of climate change alarm industry and as such is harmful to the future U.S. prosperity. Page 133, they call for the complete dismantling of the Department of Homeland Security. In addition, they argue for the elimination of the FBI along with the Department of Justice. Page 5, they call for a complete ban on corn, writing that corn should be outlawed. The people who produce and distribute it should be.
See that right there, a ban on corn. It should be outlawed. You brothers and sisters that you're raza, you know damn well you guys can't live without corn, but let's continue.
Imprisoned, and anyone else who participates or facilitates it should be registered. Page 104, reverse policies that allow transgendered individuals to serve in the military. Gender dysmorphia is incompatible with the demands of the military service, and the use of public monies for transgender surgeries or to facilitate abortion for service members should be ended. And there's so much more, including the possibility of ending birthright citizenship, banning African American and gender studies in all levels of education.
Ending birthright meaning that if you are a, let's say, permanent resident and you happen to have children here, then your children will be permanent residents. It's no different than partis sequitur ventrum. He that cometh out of a woman is basically your life. So if the woman was a slave, a servant, the child would be, no matter what. It's the same concept. It's the same concept by these MAGA Nazis. Let's continue.
Calling for an ending of any DEI programs, getting rid of gay marriage, ending the Affordable Care Act, and it also calls for the mass deportation of immigrants, and proposes a plan to round up illegal migrants and lock them up and put them in camps. But perhaps one of the most troubling and well thought out plan is the move to reclassify federal workers under what is known as Schedule F. Now I'm going to get a little HR heavy, but please stick with me because it's so important. Now there are two types of federal employees. The first group are merit-based workers. These are career positions. These people have earned them through going to school, getting work experience. They're either considered experts or they could be a part of the support staff. These people are hired because they know their stuff. Think an engineer at NASA or a scientist at the FDA. And their federal jobs have protections. Now, the other class are at-will or appointed workers. These employees tend to serve at the pleasure of the president or the administration, which basically means they can be fired or replaced at any time. To put it all in context, there are about 2 million of the first class of merit-based employees, and only about 4,000 political appointed ones. Under this new plan of Schedule F, they'd reclassify a bunch of the regular civil servants into political appointees. That way the Don can replace them with loyalists. Now, how does replacing all of these people help him carry out his plan? Let's do an example. Under Schedule F, DJT could take a scientist at the FDA, fire him, and then replace him with, let's say, a scientist who wouldn't give clearance to birth control or the abortion pill, therefore making it illegal and inaccessible without having to go through the courts, without having to go through Congress. By the way, they specifically lay this out in the plan in the 900 pages. Now, remember what I said about the whole conservative LinkedIn? That's the database they're going to use to fill these positions. A bunch of unqualified loyalists. And in October of 2020, actually, DJT tried to do this. He tried to implement Schedule F. He signed it into order, but then he lost in November. And the whole thing was pretty much a secret, but Biden then immediately repealed it. But if he wins this time, they say it'll be one of the first acts of his presidency. Now, the Don has come out and said he doesn't know anything about this Project 2025 and has been trying to distance himself from it. But at least 26 authors and people who are associated with Project 2025 served in his very own administration, including Russ Voigt, John McKinney, Stephen Miller, and many others. Also, his own platform, Agenda 47, just sounds like a SparkNotes version of Project 2025. The president of the Heritage Foundation is calling Project 2025 the New American Revolution.
In case you guys don't know this, and I think I reminded you guys, Stephen Miller had mentioned, and I read an article, and I showed you the article, and it clearly said that they were going to implement two particular laws. It was going to be one, the Alien Deportation Act, which basically, get rid of whoever they wanted that was considered illegal or a threat. And then the Insurrection Act, or Seditions Act, I'm sorry, that if you complained about what they were doing as government, then you would go to jail because then you're interfering with the government's duties. You know what I'm saying? That's technically what that was about. And I honestly, I normally don't pay much attention to this and to show you guys, but I don't think our gente understands what this Project 2025 concept is. Like it's very, very effing wicked, man. Again, there's no other way to say it. On top of the fact that I just shared with you guys what it meant, what the word MAGA meant. Thank you, brother, for sharing that with me and for sharing that with the group. But it says, how is MAGA witchcraft? And I don't know how long this video is, but these guys are talking about, I think, the witchcraft concept of this. I didn't really want to play
when we meet again. And they repeat it.
I couldn't really understand. So anyways, they're from Ireland. But check this out. Here, MAGA means magic in Latin, sorcery in Italian, wizard, illusionist in Spanish, magician in Polish, and in Sanskrit also magician, priest, or priest of the sun. And we know who is worshiping the sun, which is basically Baal. And I showed you guys a picture of the Sifrat, and as I mentioned before, the worshipers of the sun, and Luciferian, the light bearer. We see also where they get "don't tread on me." There's a lot of connections involved with the snake-like concept of what this kind of a Kabbalistic belief. Now you see you guys, you small MAGA Nazis, you know what I'm saying? You MAGA evangelical Nazis, you guys are pawns. The majority of you are pawns, and you're being used. The Brotherhood of the Snake. That's why they say, don't tread on me. And we see here, that the word MAGA means magic. So I thought it would be important to share with you guys that, I don't think this is something to overlook. I don't think you should, if anything, consider the facts, do the research, investigate for God's sakes, and then determine, like, hey, you know what? I really, like, man, bro, this is nuts, because it's starting to come to fruition. Like, I'll give you an example. We see chaos among us. We see chaos situations. I guess you could say a lot is being manifested, and we're seeing it. Now, in case you guys don't know, 2 Ezra 16 talks about the destruction to come. And here we see Babylon. And Babylon's also mentioned in Revelation. Babylon's also mentioned in Ezekiel. So no, it's not past tense. It's past, present, future. Please study. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Now, here's my point. It talks about, if you keep reading down, you know, it's the destruction to come, the sword, the fire among you that will quench, the plagues that are sent unto you. Verse 5, plague, here, let me just read it. 2 Ezra 16:5, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Right? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Obviously not. Or may anyone quench the fire in stubble? Now that's important. When it had begun to burn, may one turn again the narrow that is short shot of the strong archer. Now here is what's curious here. It's giving us a hint too. Now, why do I say that as it's giving us a hint? At least I could say this, verse 12. The earth quaketh, we are seeing that. The foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up from waves from the deep. Now, in case you guys don't know, California is starting to have a break. Some of the streets are starting to separate. Now, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also. Now, we've seen multiple fish and large animals shoring up at the beaches and before the glory of his power. So now here's where it says, when it's kind of saying, when you start seeing these things, something will occur. Now it says, verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Now, if you think of a bow, it's like, you know, like a rainbow, right? His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. So then this arrow that's going to be shot somewhere, it will not miss, and it'll be almost like a bow, you know. And then it says, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Now that is what shocks and reminds me, where are they warring at right now? Right in that region. That territory is about to get extended. And who is dealing with who in regards to capitalism or political power? The East and the West, Russia, Asia, and so-called Babylon, right? Babylon, the mother whore. Now, if you continue reading in this chapter, right, it tells you what's going to occur. So right here we see great mornings, woe be unto you after the fire comes. Verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me from in those days? We're talking about archers, arrows, plagues of all sorts. Now, here's where I know that it got very interesting for me, because I've been speaking on this for not quite some time, but I've even shared this with my wife. I'm like, you know, for a long time, this country or this government uses political power, as the Bible said, through policies and patience you shall rule the world, right? So they use political power in order for them to sanction, oppress, and eat the resources of other nations, made them work for pennies on a dollar. This is why you guys had Walmart or 99-cent stores, right? We had that before. Now we're talking about inflation. People are suffering. Oh my God, it sucks. Hey, what's up, bro? Shalom, man. I didn't even see you. I will. Shalom, bro. And it's, you know, people are suffering. So check this out. Behold, 2 Ezra 6:21. Behold, visuals shall be good, cheap upon the earth. Visuals is like, you know, merchandise, things. Here, I'll help you. I'll help you so you can see that I'm not making up the word. Let's look up the word. Visuals. Okay, check this out. Food and drinks, like McDonald's, like, you know, Jack in the Box, Jack in the Crack, like Walmart, like, you know what I'm saying, 99-cent stores, where you used to get the things for cheap. Behold, visuals shall be so cheap, so to speak, upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. But now we're dealing with inflation. Now we're like, holy shit. Now people are suffering. Now, oh my God, I don't have enough for milk. Or that. It used to be so cheap, they said. Yeah, it used to be. But famine is coming. It's been giving you a warning. When you start seeing, hey, things are good, and now they're not, even then shall the evils grow upon the earth. We're not done yet. That's just the beginning. You guys think it's going to get interesting. Sword, famine, and great confusion. Are they not now First, it used to be Democrats, Republicans, yada, 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 you know what I'm saying? The Bloods and the Cribs and everybody. Now it's like it all scattered, man. You know, so-called Afros or Wabos, they're fighting amongst themselves because some are saying they're us and the others are like, no, you're not. Now you got Republicans fighting among themselves and you got Demos fighting among themselves as well. Great confusion, great famine, and we got much war going on. Over 200,000 people have been injured in that war, in case you don't know. So let me repeat it again. Behold, visuals shall be so cheap, good upon earth. So when you start seeing Walmarts and 99-cent stores starting to death, like people are losing those stores now. You ain't finding them anymore. That they shall think themselves to be in good case. That's just the beginning. And even then shall evil grow upon the earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Now, one interesting thing here that I wanted to share it in another class, but I'll share it now. For you that thinks that, you know, Christians, for example, matter of fact, you know what? Man, I got a little bit of time. What time is it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Let me just do this. I'm going to go over a topic because I should have talked about this before, to be honest with you. And I didn't. But I'm going to talk about it today. So in case you brothers ever experienced something like this, let me show you what the scriptures say in regards to this. So if you ever encounter this situation, you got to be mindful that what has happened to you, it has happened to me, and it's nothing new under the sun. What has happened to our forefathers, it's happened again and again and again. So let's go ahead and see if maybe we can educate some Christians tonight, because I'll end it at around 12 o'clock. So let me go. Let's begin, man. I'm going to touch on this topic. So let's start. Sirach 26:5. Now, I'm moving on from the previous one. I just wanted to show you what's coming about. These people have anger. They're frustrated because they're losing power. They're frustrated because things are expensive now. Now they're feeling the pinch. And they're doing everything in power to make sure that they're not on the bottom, because they know that they will be on the bottom. So let's move on. Sirach 26:5. So if anything ever happens to you like this, brothers and sisters, man, you make sure that you examine yourself. You examine yourself and just listen. Sometimes if you're just patient and you wait and you listen, you'll see that if you just stay quiet, in a sense, and you at least reflect on what you possibly have done wrong, you may learn something. You may realize it's a very important process to take when you're walking in this walk here. You will be attacked. And maybe they might not, I don't know. I'll say it like this. You will be attacked. Sirach 26:5. There be three things that mine heart feareth, and for the fourth I was sore afraid. The slander of a city. This is the important part. The gathering together of an unruly multitude. And a false accusation. All these are worse than death. Now, that happened to me. I'm sharing this with y'all, so when this happens to you, you can see what the Bible is going to tell us. The scriptures are going to educate us here. So how do we deal with this, and how do we look upon it? And, you know, does it say this in the Bible that it will happen? Yeah, it will. So when people gather together, unruly among themselves, and it's just to murmur and false accuse you, that's something that the Most High hates the most. All these are worse than death. All of them. And our job is literally to cleanse our ways, man. James 3:4, behold, also the ships, which though they be so great and are driven of fierce wind, yet are not they turned about with a very small helm, whichsoever the governor listeneth. So again, we're talking about speech, how you speak about somebody, and then also what that speech means within yourself. Like, is it good intent? Is it out of love, or is it out of hate? So in here it says here, it's setting up an example. The ship, all it needs is a small, very small helm to guide its way. So it says, verse 5, even so the tongue is a little member and boasted great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. So that's why you got to be mindful the things that you say, because other people don't forget. And if you brothers sit back and reflect on what just occurred, like you're like, you know what? I know now not to move that way. I know now not to make those choices. Even so, the tongue is a little member. I'm sorry. And the tongue, and the verse 6, and the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body and setteth on fire the course of nature, and is set on fire of hell. Now we're going to touch on that a bit, talking about burning, because you know what, man, the things that are being said here are being recorded up there too, however you want to slice it. Maybe that doesn't matter to you. It matters to me. It mattered to me. It matters I think it matters to all of us. First Philippians 1:14. And many brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak much more bold to speak the words without fear. Some indeed preach the Meshiacha, even of envy and strife, and some of goodwill. So I know that there are some disagreements. I know that, and they're going to disagree with you too. And they may sound like, yeah, you're right, man. No, man, that's a strong teacher. He's a strong talker, bro. He's wrong, and he's right, and I'm wrong, because you know what I'm saying. Like, no, bro. A lot of times people speak out of envy and strife. That's unfortunate, but it has to happen. And some of goodwill, and among some, maybe they do have a goodwill, good intent. But again, those that are within you, around you, you need to be mindful. If you're watching this occur and you know the word and you know the Bible, and you know that maybe there's a little envy and strife within some people, and you're socializing around that, man, maybe you think maybe you can consider, I mean, is it a possibility that you can also sin as well? You know, some people are taught to teach in strife. Some people cannot get over their anger. Some people have issues with anger. Maybe, you know, and I'm speaking like for myself, maybe I'm the one that has issues with anger. And you know what? I did have issues with anger in the past. And I did everything possible to get rid of it as much as possible, because it wasn't going to do anything but destroy the crap out of me, man. And it was sincerely destroying me. No doubt about it, because I wasn't just angry with me. I'd be angry with my wife. I'd be just angry and find a reason to be angry, because being angry is a very comfortable thing if that's all you're about. If that's all you've been about, well, yeah, it's easy to be angry. Now, I also know this, and I learned this, and I'm thankful for the brother. I'm thankful that I received this from a brother, and he shared this with me. And, you know, it was very important to realize that, you know what? It's true. A lot of us express anger in a certain way, but we don't realize that anger is going to destroy you. Now, again, that anger will also make you say shit that you really shouldn't be saying, and you don't watch your mouth or your tongue. So a lot of times when you're teaching or you're talking, you know, it sounds bold and strong, but a lot of it may be because it's of envy and strife. Yeah, they speak without fear, but it's not necessarily of goodwill. It's not necessarily of goodwill. On the contrary, it's more of something to do with this. It's an interpersonal issue. I don't know exactly what the deal is with that, but you know what I'm saying? Like when I found this out, I think I had the wrong. Hold on a second. Give me a second, family. I got the wrong one. Okay, here it goes right here. Okay, here it goes. So this is actually a good point. I'm thankful that the brother sent it to me, because some people will deal with this issue. And that's why it's important for you to be applicable to the word and understand, okay, so what is going on? What am I supposed to learn from this? Okay, so check this out. For you guys that do deal with anger and are out there supposedly teaching the Bible and you have anger issues, well, time to reflect, man. Maybe this anger is more than what you think. Because a lot of us do, oh, I'm hardcore, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm tough, man. I'm tough. I'm a man. I ain't no coward. Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. Let's go.
Is a guy who's always depressed. Women get emotional. Men don't like feeling emotional, so they get angry. They don't like feeling weak, so they get angry. They don't like feeling defeated, so they get angry. They don't like processing their pain or their hurt or their trauma, so they get angry. What happens when a man gets angry? He feels strong. Testosterone fires, endorphins fire, you're on your front foot, you're in the fight or flight cycle, you're strong, you're not weak. So most men who are angry are depressed, and they're manifesting their depression with male anger, and their manifestation is different than women. This is what I'm telling you.
And their manifestation is different than women. That's a very good point. Gotcha, bitch. Because if you really think about it, that's being emotional. Scriptures are clear and says, you know, he that cannot govern the spirit is just basically set for destruction. It's basically set for destruction, right? You know what I'm saying? It says it. It says it right then and there. But let's continue. Let's continue, man. Let's continue. Because, you know, remember, you got to also make peace within yourself. Because if you can't make peace within yourself, you can never make peace with nobody, no matter what. Verse 16, let me finish it. The one preached the Meshiacha of contention, not sincerely, opposing to add affliction to my bonds. Now, some teach with contention. Okay, let's look up the word. What does that word mean? I'll show you, because, you know, I like to look up words. I think it's important. What does that word mean? Contention. It means heated disagreement and an assertion, especially one maintained in an argument. So there are people that this is what they're about. It's just about arguing. It's not necessarily anything else, but they need a rivalry. They need a strife. They need discord. Without some type of strife or discord, it's just not enticing. It's not fun. It's not fun. You know what I'm saying? It's, I don't care now. These guys are too boring, man. I want some action, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for some action, man. And if you're looking for that kind of family, you will find that kind of family. You will find that kind of brotherhood, for sure, without a doubt. One of you will influence each other. That's the unfortunate thing. That's why if you're not mindful of what's going on, it'll occur to you as well. Mark 9:37, whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name, receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me, receiveth not me, but him that sent me. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followed not us. And we forbade him because he followed not us. Sorry, I meant to read verse 38, not 37. But the Meshiach said, forbid him not. But there's no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me. So again, if you, Lord willing, you are being useful for the proper reasons. A lot of us are woken up to be an example of destruction. You don't want to be the example seed to be destroyed. So, you know, just because y'all don't agree with each other, you know, maybe a lot of us don't see things clearly. Some of us see things in part. But again, it's about the spirit within you. A lot of people teach out of anger, and they want to have strife, even among their brethren. Okay, well, there are people like that in the scriptures, man. That's why we have to be mindful and read. Like, whoa, who did you see that did that before? Here we go. The third book of John, chapter 1, verse 9. I don't know why I couldn't say it. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, received us not. So this is a leader, okay? A leader in that region. Let me see where it's at. Let Let me read verse 16, which have borne witness of charity before the church, the Gentiles. I don't remember, but let me just take to the point for the sake of time. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have preeminence among them, receive us not. What does preeminence mean? I'll just read it real quick to y'all. It means to have superiority, being superior to or notable above all others. Superiority. Now, some of you guys probably have seen a lot of spirits move that way. I'm superior than you. There's no level, you know what I'm saying? There's no like humility between sincerity. I've talked to brothers, believe me, in this, we got a group going on. There's none of these brothers that talk without humility and respect as men. Not as children, but as men. But again, there are a lot of Diotrephes, lots of them. The preeminence concept is right there. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds, which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith. Neither doeth he himself receive the brethren. So there's even contention among particular groups. That's why I initially started with Sirach 26. Now read it. There be three things that my heart feareth. For the fourth, I was so afraid, the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude or group, and false accusations. I've seen that happen several times. And for the first time I had it happen to me. So I'm sharing this with y'all so you can understand where these things come from. Are they your brethren? I don't know. But again, there's steps to making amends. Always, like everything, there are steps. But if you don't know how to take them, because you don't know the Bible, then you're always going to be stuck that way. And then don't expect somebody else that actually understands and studies and knows what is the process and procedure or how to go make amends with somebody. Ain't going to there for you, bro. Let's go. And not content therewith, neither doeth he himself receive the brethren, and forbidded them that would, and cast them out of the church. So it's like, yo, I don't agree with you, bro. Get out of here. There was a time where I walked that way. Yeah, of course. That was that BHI shit. I had it in me. But even then, that wasn't really the problem. At least with me in that case. Hey, listen, we see this in camps, man. IOIC, IUSPK, bro. They're all vindictive with each other, bro. Vengeful, attacking each other, beating each other up. They're thinking they're like gangs. We see the strife and anger. Now, we know what type of people those are, right? So why are we not paying attention to what we're supposed to avoid? I mean, all over the scriptures, they're telling us to get our act right, get our act right, get our act right. First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. Let's read it. It says here, he therefore that despiseth not, man. Hey, brothers, if somebody don't like you like that, you know what I'm saying, and you're trying to teach them and you're sincere, they ain't despising you, bro. That's why I say, people, I don't take it personal, man. Maybe I did at one point in one life, in some time of my life in the past, but not no more. I don't take it personal, man. I don't. It's like kind of like I run my business. This is business, bro. I don't take it personal. And I'm not forcing things to happen. You don't never force anything, family. You don't have to. If the Most High allows it, it'll happen. But again, it says, he therefore that despises not man. So be mindful. They ain't despising you, bro, but God. Why? Because again, what is the two commandments? Love the Most High as much as you can, and love your brethren as you love yourself. Who hath also given us his Holy Spirit, his Ruach. I just, I'll show you this one, man. And so a lot of us maybe might question and wonder, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do the heathen rage? Yeah, because a lot of our brothers can be heathens. The heathen mentality. Because heathen mentality means I don't know how to deal with you. I don't know how to, I don't know how to use the Bible. I got a problem with you, but I don't know how to talk to you about it. So I'm going to just, spit it out everywhere for the whole world to know. And then maybe regret it. Remember, the tongue is a powerful thing, and it kindleth a lot of fire, and it also is something that writes your table upon the earth, which shall be also read when it's time to go up there. So why do the heathen rage and the people imagine vain things? Well, we see society. Where did we come from? Some of us came from Christianity, and we go way up in BHI and go extreme. Some of us came from BHIs, and we don't let that go. Instead of getting your house in order, that means you first and your family. Some of us want to read and go outside of our circle. That's very important first. To somehow create something out there like you're going to get. It don't work that way because your house ain't in order. I had to get my house, me personally, in order, and then my home, my children, my kids. It all works, and it takes time. It ain't over 6 months or a year or two, especially if you're barely reading. Oh, you read? Okay, so fine. You read the Bible. Good for you. You still got malice in your heart. Acts 4:25. Again, let's go to the new one. It says here, who by the mouth of thy servant David has said, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine vain things? Again, it could also be our gente. The heathen mentality. Like no love, bro. No love, man. Like, damn, man, for real, bro? For real? And the last thing I ever want to do is invite somebody to come sin with me, man. And then the last thing I want to do, watching this thing occur and not be mindful what the scriptures say. Leviticus 5:1, because again, if you're saying you want this book, well, you have to chew it slowly. Slowly. Not in a rush, not in 6 months, 2 years. Oh, I read the Bible. You guys need to read it this way. No, it don't work like that. If a soul sin, and you guys that are watching, don't be those people. If you see it happen, bro, like, hey, man, part ways. If a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is there a witness, whether he had seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Meaning what? If you don't correct the brother and sister, or brother in this case, and say, yo, man, you were wrong on that. You were wrong on that. It's like, because you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we just have a problem admitting that we're wrong. Here's one example of what this means right here. When you trip over your brethren. Instead of using the scriptures, you trip over your brethren, you use the tongue, and it affects people. And then you just kind of like, oh, you know, it's like the sand of the sea. Just wash it away. It don't matter. Everything matters. Everything matters, man. All of it. Because I'm looking to have my story written on this table here. I'm not here to F around. 1 Corinthians 8:7. Howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. For some with conscience of idols unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol. And their conscience being weak is defiled. So we're talking about the conscience as the understanding being weak, meaning you're not really totally in full grasp of the scriptures just yet. You're still kind of sinning, going back and forth. And like some of y'all come from Thanksgiving and it's like, I don't know, man. Pavo, I don't want to touch it because it reminds me of Thanksgiving. It's like, your spirit is still weak. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. So take heed about that. Here it says, for if a man see thee, which thou hast sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the consciousness of him which is be weak emboldened to eat those which are offered to idols? This also applies to when you see other people acting a certain way, talking a certain way, and scripturally speaking, bro, that's murmuring, bro. And you're still there. You're showing other people that are coming around your circle, learning that it's okay to murmur. Those are facts. Matthew 24. I won't take too long, man. I'm almost done. Check this out. Matthew 24, verse 9. And it says here real quick. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and they shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. Hey, sometimes, bro, when you believe in this, and we have family members too that are applicable to this. You show them, you talk to them, don't eat pork, don't do this. This is what the scriptures are talking about. They hate you for it even more. Matter of fact, they don't even want to talk to you. That's what happens. Or like when we get people that come here and tell us and say, oh, you're not supposed to do this and do that. Or some of us maybe criticize each other more than we should. Or we think we're better or more knowledgeable or more wise. And, oh, God is dealing with me. Yet you haven't reflected or even considered how full are you in sin. Sirach 21:27. When the ungodly curses Satan, he cursed his own soul. Why? Because if you're in iniquity, bro, you're in no different. All actions matter. All your actions matter. Leviticus 5:1, it says, if it's so sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is it a witness wherewith whether he had seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Keep in mind, if you're part of that sin, that's why Leviticus 19:17 clearly says, let's go to it, man. Why not? Not on that point. That's why it says that. If you see him sin or her sin, you got to let them know. Leviticus 19:17, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So if you see something like that, if you're upset about something, right? You got to come to that person. Or if you see them sinning, you're like, yo, you got to let them know. Now, if you have a grudge against somebody, don't go and murmur. Don't go and create other groups to go and, be part of the murmuring. Have that deal with that person. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. So don't create grudges among others because you have a grudge. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, because if you are doing that, that means you don't really care for yourself. Those are kind of facts, man, in case you don't know. Wisdom of Solomon. I'm almost done. 6:22. Watch what it says. As for wisdom, what is she? And how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Neither will I go with consuming envy. So don't chase wisdom through envy. For such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom. It's very clear. I don't know. Some of y'all, and again, I don't expect you guys to really understand. Maybe. I guess I should, but sometimes I don't know. The brothers that do watch, man, I'll praise it, but it's a lot of you guys that are subscribing. I don't think you really understand what this is about. And it says here, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. Now, here it says, again, neither will I go with consuming envy. So it might seem like you may know something, but you lack wisdom. For such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom, because wisdom know it, man. It knows it. If you haven't practiced or even considered what Peter 2:1 is saying to y'all, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and all hypocrisy and envy and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. But here's the point. Wherefore laying aside all malice, guile, hypocrisy, and envies. Because hypocrisy and envies work hand in hand. And evil speaking is just the icing on the cake. So if you haven't done any of that, no matter what you do or how you speak, no matter what you do, no matter how many books you read, you will always have that within you. Which is why a lot of people fail. And they continue in the circle of that lack of growth. 1 John 4:20, if a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he is a liar. Why? For he that loveth his brother, his love is not his brother, whom he hath seen. How can he love God whom he hath not seen? That's the most hypocritical thing you can do. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God loveth his brother also. So again, anything that has to do with experience, family, you see it, take note of it, wash it away. If you can't fix it, and that person's not willing to fix it, wash it away. And you know what I'm saying? If they really want to reconciliate, they'll reach out to you. They don't send other people. They'll reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it works, man. Like it's not complicated. That's how it works. It's not complicated. James 3:13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness and wisdom. Now, I ain't lying, man. I didn't have that before. I'm glad I'm starting to chew more on it now, more on what the word wisdom means and actually applying it, not just saying it. But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, and this is why it took so much work to get rid of that, man. I don't envy nobody. I don't envy the enemy. I don't envy my brethren. I don't envy none of that. I don't envy people. Oh, they know. Nah, man, not at all. I'm going to tell you something that I did personally, okay? Here's what I did personally. I got my house in order first. Hold on a second. I first put out what I did is I got myself in order. And then at first, let me say I got it all wrong because I was in camps. But when I got out of these camps, I realized through a brethren that I met for a short period of time, I had it backwards. So what I focused on getting myself in order and then getting my family, my children, my wife in order. That was my priority because scripturally speaking, it says the head, the category that it takes. So you are responsible. How can the Most High give you some type of position of power or kingship if you can't rule your own home? You can't even teach your own children, or let alone teach your own wife. So I worked on me and then worked on my family. Just like Leviticus 19, 23, 25, I was a tree. I took time. It took time. I put my roots in there. That's the only way it was going to work. And then as time went on, I realized, man, I got a lot of envy and strife because with your family and your loved ones, you're going to really see who you are. You can hide this shit from enemies. You can hide this shit from people que no te conocen, güey. That's easy. But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descended not from above, but it's earthly, sensual, and devilish. So if you have bitter and envy and strife, you know if you are envious and strifeful, man. If all you do is, you want contention, and you want to cover yourself up, you're really angry, but you want to cover it up with like toughness or some shit, that's when you know that the men are not well matured just yet, because you still think that this is some type of gangship or something. You put too much emphasis on this muscle concept, carnal mentality. You don't know how to soften it up or balance it out just because you're too emotional, and then you wonder why. Sometimes you got people that just don't know how to have their home in order. So because you don't have your home in order, sometimes you want to go find your so-called family outside of your home in order because it's out of order and you don't know how to put it together. If you cannot do that here right now, what makes you think that the Most High will allow you to do that up there? You got it all wrong. They don't work that way, man. I had to learn that the hard way. It's in Matthew 7:15, beware of false prophets, which come to you as in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Yeah, a lot of times people come with that personality, that disorder right there. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns and figs of thistles? So again, look at their house. So if you want to get to know somebody, look at their surroundings. Who do they deal with? How are they raising their family? And if there's something not right, bro, listen, you're watching them sin. You don't say shit. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. So that also is part of the people that you socialize with. That's also part of it. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not good fruit is hewed down and cast into the fire. Now that right there is crazy. Because if you really think about it, what I had just read earlier, and again, I'm only a few done. 16, check this out. Remember I talked about in fire, right? In fire, the end. Look what it says here. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 77. Will be unto them that are bound with their sins. That's envy, strife, evil speaking. It don't just have to be, lusting or, I don't lust no more. I don't sin no more. I'm not thinking of other, or I'm not robbing no more, or I'm not drugging no more. No, man. It's other things too. A full examination is required. And cover it with their iniquities like a field is covered over with bushes. And the path thereof covered with thorns that no man may travel through it. Meaning that your entire field is dry, bushy, full of thorns because you haven't reflected, you haven't cleansed yourself, you haven't really gone deep than what you think you should, right? And now, when the time comes, it is left undressed and cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. Now we know that if you guys live in certain areas where there's like brush fire, if it's all dry, that's what it's talking about. You're going to be consumed. Why? Because you've ignored. It ain't just about those obvious sins. It's a lot. It's a lot involved. Because again, what is the point? What are we trying to do, man? We're trying to plant good fruit. Trying to plant good fruit. I mean, at least that's what I think. I'm hoping that some of you guys who are listening or will be listening later on are trying to plant good trees. Matthew 12:33, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or else to make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruits. I was talking to a brother the other day, and I told him, listen, bro, I do have a home that believes my daughter and my kids, but you want to know something? At the expense of my older son. Because through him, we were able to see the truth in the scriptures. Because here's what you talk about, Mark 5. He's dealing with those spirits. My son's autistic, an adult, can't see. He's been injuring, those things that occur. And because of him, my children realized, wow, God is real. Yeah, he's real. It's in the book. I was able to show them and see, like, look, and they saw everything my son did was right there. So again, if you don't go deep and you don't actually examine and you don't really look into the thoroughness of what is needed, for you, if you supposedly want a chance to be forgiven, if you cannot rule your own self, can't rule your own spirit, always angry, always in strife, always in contention, don't have yourself in order, don't have your house in order, and I'm speaking of experience. I'm speaking of experience. Then you're upside down. 2 Ezra 16:74, hear, O ye my beloved, say the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift themselves up, meaning don't hold on to that though it past. Now, what are some of the commandments and precepts, like Leviticus 19:17, like the obvious one? If you see your brother, sinning, hey, listen, man, I gotta correct you, bro. Or this one right here, Matthew 18:15, very simple one, and a lot of you don't know how to do this, even in the simplest form. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his faults between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. So those are very simple commandments, like the scripture said. Yo, listen, if you don't even apply this, bro, you still in sin. If you say you are a strong individual, you can handle a conversation, but yet, this couldn't be applicable, at least from my experience. So what I have experienced and what I notice is when I deal with spirits like that, I sit back and watch and analyze, and eventually they expose themselves. And my conclusion can be or become just like you when you experience it too. Sirach 37:10, consult not with one that suspected thee, and hide thy counsel from such as that's envy thee. So me particularly, because I've experienced that, I already know, I heard it, I already know that spirit is still there. And I know that I was foolish too. I was disobedient, but you know what? I can say that I have worked on it. And I think I speak because of certain people can also speak for me. Titus 3:3, we ourselves were also sometimes foolish. Yeah, I was foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy and hateful and hating one another. I was like that too. But you know what? A lot of y'all don't realize you're still doing it. So when you see this particular matter happening, family, be mindful. Be mindful, because, hey, listen, man, the day is almost like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it sure is getting a little heated. after what's going on with here in the upper lands of the America, MAGA. Hosea 9:7, the days of visitation are come, the days of recompense are come. Recompense. So if you're trying to recompense with the Lord, you want the Lord to forgive you. Okay. Israel shall know it. The prophet is a fool, and the spiritual man is mad for the multitude of thine iniquities and thy great hatred. A lot of you don't realize that you still have that hatred. So because you're still dealing with that hatred, 2 Ezra 16 talks about, bro, if you don't clean that field up, you're going to burn. You're going to burn. I don't want to burn. I don't want to have anger and strife and evil, and I don't want to have no bitterness. No, I wash that shit away at all. I mean, I wash it away. Sirach 28:3, one man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon of the Lord? That's why, because look, listen, I don't have none of this shit. I feel like, the experience that I had, I could say I was offended, but you know what? I'm good. As long as I know I didn't offend nobody. Then it says here, because why? Because I don't have hate. Because I want the Most High to forgive me. He showed no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doth he ask forgiveness of his own sins? Very clear. Speaks for itself right there. If he that is but flesh nourisheth hatred, who will entreat for pardons of his sins? So remember that video I showed y'all when, like, what do you have to offer? The person gives him gold and he makes it to heaven. And they were balancing gold against a white feather, right? Well, the broke person, the poor, didn't have any gold. And then, she dies because the feather weighed more than her poorness. But I look at it more like the gold was refined, it's tried in fire. And that's how, your sins were washed away, that the gold weighed less than that feather, where she was full of sin. And she wasn't refined as gold. So that feather weighed less than those sins. That's what that means. And hopefully, you know what I mean? It's something that you guys take into consideration. Because that's what the words mean, tried in fire. Luke 6:22, blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company. That happened. I'm totally fine. Hey, you don't like the dude? I don't like the dude. Hey, I don't like the dude either. Okay, cool. Let's hang out. We don't like him. And shall reproach you and cast you out in the name, cast your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. So, again, people can insult you when they know your name and they know what name you go by, but they use your other name knowing that that's a total insult. But at the same time, again, when you're moving in strife and envy and evil speaking, the Spirit bears witness. But again, I always say to people, bro, I don't have any problems with reconciliation, but use the Bible. And at this point, it's a very difficult thing because I'm using the scriptures and I'm discerning the Spirit, and I don't see anything close to what I would assume to feel even to the conclusion and say, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So as far as I can see it, I'll play myself this way. Luke 6:27. But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you. Bless them that curse you and pray for them which despitefully use you. That's something I'm also learning as well. I'm not saying I'm perfect. No, not at all. Not at all. I'm not saying that. I'll end it with the scripture here right quick. Why am I saying that? Or why am I not saying that? Because I understand that there's the work. It takes work. 1 Corinthians 13:4-5. Charity suffereth long. Because that's that mercy period, meaning to get it right. And it's kind. Charity envieth not. So now I know I don't envy. That I've worked on it. I don't envy, man. I'm happy about that. I'm so happy about that. I don't envy the enemy. I don't envy my brethren. I don't envy people that may know more. I don't envy none of that. Charity vaunted it. It's not itself. It is not puffed up. That's why I tell you, brethren, bro, y'all, man, should be more knowledgeable than me. Do not behave itself unseemly. Seek it not her own. It is not easily provoked. Think it no evil. So now I used to be easily provoked. And I used to think evil. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. So what is truth? This is the truth. Okay? This is the bottom of the barrel truth right here. Fear, Psalms 11:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. That right there, That right there is the most beautiful thing. So you guys check this out. I'm gonna finish it with this video. And I told y'all this before, and I've always stayed strong in my belief because it's out of rigorous, research. And I know that some brethren might have not understood what I was saying, and now they're lost in the sauce with like these big ass long St. Thomas books and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because they misunderstood me. But I'm glad that this is one of you brethren that have listened don't misunderstand me, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A full understanding have all they that do his commandments. So again, if I'm over here considering what he has given me as a privilege of knowledge, man, I got to have charity on its fullness at all costs. Let's go.
The biggest problems in America right now.
1994, I'm asked to visit one of the most famous men on the planet, but he's famous for all the wrong reasons. Had the largest ministry in the world. He committed fraud, and in 1990, he was sentenced. I remember going up to the place, the federal penitentiary that he was serving time in. So I remember after about 20 minutes of him telling me his whole story, man, I had one big question. I said, listen, I watched you weep as you preached the gospel. I watched so many people get saved on your ministry. When did you fall out of love with Jesus? He looked at me and he said, John, I didn't. And he sees confusion on my face, and he looks at me and he goes, I didn't fear God. I loved Jesus, but I had no fear of God. He said, and there's millions of Americans just like me. They love Jesus, but they have no fear of God.
Fear is the beginning of wisdom. That fear is a reverence. It's a respect. I fear him for who he is, but I know that he's a loving, good, and gracious father. If you like Christian content, hit that follower.
That's an amazing thing right there. An amazing thing right there, family. So anyhow, man, again, if you guys stuck around, the first part was about just going over this topic real quick. The second part was just kind of a topic that I wanted to touch on a while ago, but I didn't. I'm thankful that I finally did. Yeah, it's all good, man. It is what it is, family. It is what it is. So yeah, you guys have a good night. I know nobody really watching now. It is what it is, bro. I don't do classes at night. I don't expect y'all to be watching this right now. Hopefully you guys catch it later. Hopefully they don't take it off, because I don't know. Maybe I don't know YouTube anymore. I don't know what the hell is going on with them. Yeah, I've been getting blocked left and right with some particular post. So I'm gonna make it quick. That's it. I ain't really saying much at this point. You guys have a good night. All right. Saludos, bros. Ole pues, hasta luego, cabrones.
Porque toques el cielo, pero no el suelo, así que créetelo. Quítate el velo velozmente, bro. Vívete tu sueño, pero despierta a la hora que toca. Esa hora, motherfucker, wake up.
Yo me meo en tu cubata antes. Bebo, matar ratas son tan. Vaya al bosque a lo Tarzán mientras enlazan. Fraternidad en casa con su polo, colisteras trenas. Se han dejado en el desván de su pensar un mar de ideas. Son grandes ideas ardiendo en chimeneas antiguas. Ríe Dios al ver que te santiguas. Su mente y su luz son ambiguas como mi voz. Lo que para ti es un don, para mí una misión fija. Mis versos son de ninja. Tu poesía pa' pijas que no te fijan. Caen más allá del cristal. La matriz hipnotiza. Mi energía os hace trizas. Yo en mi nave nodriza. Comiendo pizza con piña, moldea taroides, vórtices. Con mi mente arborescente junto con Isis y Milos para crear Pegasos en nace, pero cánticos lemurianos me hacen sentir como en mi hogar la noche se avecina y se afilan colmillos de vampiras psíquicas. Frecuencias del malestar las alimentan. Nuestro deber es tenerlas raquíticas. Bazookas espaciales latada con la función del sol central, causando desinformaciones bíblicas. Todo lo existente es relativo, o al menos la materia que te describo. Soy antipersonas como las minas y mino. La moral del que venga a negar lo que digo con la buena anemona, gárgola, Andrómeda eres.
Conserva tus células primigenias o no podrás volar. El virus se llevó a unos cuantos, pero elevó a más. Se elevó el más a la opulencia. Digo, ciencia,
Debajo el Satanás en el espejo.
Jesucristo, la conciencia del flash.
La tierra y su paz
Están vibrando, los sentimientos son la trampa que están manejando. Los hilos de los cuales tú y tu ego estáis medio colgándonos.
que yo sea un superdotado, ni tonto. Solo lo que tú sabes de mierda yo sobre el cosmos. Que lo estudio y profundamente sano me lo tomo. Si no ya hubiera ido a visitar al doctor. Porque no soy devota, mucho menos un santo. Yo jamás puedo, pero dale
que asalto cuando en verdad sé que tendría que sudarme todo la polla. Pero pienso que hay que vivir por algo.
que en el letargo cure lo enfermo. Sabor amargo, remedio eterno.
Me pregunto a toda esa gente que le he hecho y canalizo desde el cielo un verbo al cielo, bro.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.